Good morning friends, welcome back to Panika Tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about the Java features in detail. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First, let me list out the Java features. Java is very simple language and Java is an object-oriented programming language. It is platform independent and it is robust, secure. We can design the distributed applications using Java programming language. Even we can achieve multi-threading to improve the CPU performance, and even we can achieve high performance using the Java programming language. Now let me discuss each one. As I said earlier, Java is very simple programming language. If you know the C, or even if you know C++, you can easily learn the Java. The syntax of the C++ and Java is almost similar because C++ is also an object-oriented programming language and even Java is also an object-oriented programming language. So the syntax will look similar. And even the complex concepts which are available in C++ such as pointers, operator overloading, all these things are eliminated in Java. Means you will not find pointers concept in Java, you will not find operator overloading in Java. So these complex concepts which are available in C++ are also eliminated in Java. So that's why Java is very simple programming language, easily you can learn. Now the next is, as I said earlier, the Java supports the object-oriented features such as it supports the class, object, and even it supports the various other features such as abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, all these things. So that's why we can say that Java is an object-oriented programming language, whereas C is a procedural language. Everything will be depend on the functions. But when it comes to the Java, it is a real world relation like class and object. All these things we will have in the Java. And one more important thing, the main drawback of C and C++ is they are platform dependent programming language. Whatever, suppose let me discuss with an example. Let's take that you have written a add.c program and you have compiled using the C compiler. Once you compile the add.c, you will get add.obj file, means object file you will get. That object file if you execute, then only you will get the output. Now, once you compile the add.c program in a particular platform, you will generate the add.obj file. That OBJ file you can only execute on the same platform. If you change the platform, you will not get the output. So that's why we will say that C and C++ are platform dependent programming language. If you change the platform, you will not get the output. This problem has been overcome in the Java. How it has happened is, let's take that if you write add.java. I'm just taking the add is the a program, okay, some program dot java. Okay, if you compile it, instead of getting an object file, you will get a class file, or even we can say that bytecode. Okay, this bytecode we can execute with the help of JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and then we will get the output. Now in the Java, as we get the class file or the bytecode instead of object file, this bytecode or the class file, you can run it on any other platform if you have the JVM. Is it clear? Suppose the meaning is that on a platform X, you have compiled the Java program. Then you will get the bytecode or dot class file. Okay. If you take the dot class file in a pen drive or some other medium and run it in some other platform, then also you will get the output. So that's why we will say that write once, run anytime. or run it anytime or run anywhere. You can run it any other platform also. So that is the beauty of the Java program. Because of this bytecode features, we can run the Java program on any other platform also. We will get the similar output, but only thing is that you should have a JVM there, because JVM can only understand this bytecode. So I hope you have understood why we'll say Java is a simple object-oriented programming language and it is platform independent. Now let me discuss the robust concept. Why we will say Java is robust. Java will handle the exceptions. Exception handling is available in Java, and also memory management is also done properly, means garbage collection facility is also available, or the feature is also available in Java. Because of this exception handling and memory management, the Java is a robust programming language. Now coming to the secure, if you take the C and C++, we have the pointers concept. Pointers concept creates several issues. Those issues has been overcome in the Java by eliminating the pointers concept. In Java, we will not have any pointers concept. If you take a C, let's take that you have created an array. Let's take that an integer array of 10. Now even you can try to access the 11th index, because you know that if you create an array of size 10, you will have the index starting from 0 to 9. Okay, so the elements which are there in the index 0 to 9, you can access it, but even you can access the out of bound index also, but that facility is not available. If you try to access it, it will give an error called array index out of bound. Exception will be generated. And even as the pointers concept is eliminated, the stack corruption, buffer overflow problems has been eliminated in the Java. They are not possible, like stack corruption and buffer overflow issues will not occur in the Java. So that's why we'll say that Java is secured programming language. Okay. And another thing is that distributed applications. Now let me erase this board so that I can discuss what is the distributed application. Using Java programming language, you can design the distributed applications. What is meant by distributed applications is the software which you have developed using the Java, you can run on multiple computers. Let's say that you have a computer 1, you have a computer 2, you have a computer 3. If they are connected using internet, the same software you can run on these multiple computers concurrently. At the same time you can do. Okay, so this is what we'll call it as distributed applications. It reduces the overhead, or I can say that if you run on a particular system, the performance may be poor and it may be overhead. Okay, it may not perform well. The particular computer cannot execute the entire task. So that's why what we will do is that we will load this software on multiple computers and we will execute concurrently or at the same time. So this is the one of the beauty of the Java. We can design the distributed applications using the Java programming language. And even Java supports the multi-threading concept. What is meant by thread? Thread is a lightweight process. Okay. Now multi-threading means we can execute concurrently multiple threads at the same time. So the multi-threading feature supports that you can concurrently execute the same program at the same time. You can execute the same program concurrently, several parts. Suppose let's take that you have a sum function here, you have some function. Okay, or as we are talking about the Java, we can say that methods instead of functions, we will say methods. So several parts of the same program, suppose let's take that in add.java, you have written several methods. These methods you can execute concurrently at the same time. So this is what we'll call it as multi-threading. Concurrently executing several parts of the same program at same time. This is the one of the good feature Java supports. The advantage of providing multi-threading is that it will improve the CPU performance. Okay. Now the next one is high performance. Even some people says that Java is an interpreted programming language. However, even it has the JIT compiler. As I told you earlier, once we write a Java program, like let's take that I have written add.java, once I compile that one, I will get the .class file. Instead of .object file, we will get in bytecode. That bytecode will be interpreted using the JVM. Now JVM also will have the one compiler called JIT compiler. Okay, so it even interprets and also parallel it will do the compilation using the JIT compiler to get the output. So because of this feature, high performance will be achieved using the Java. So I hope you have understood all the features of Java. If you still have any doubts related to any feature, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.